Hello, my name is Ann Ewan. I'm the Chief Curator of Art and Heritage at the Whyte Museum of the Canadian Rockies here in Banff. And the artist we are visiting today is Deborah Cameron. So we're going to do a little bit of a pan of her studio so you get a sense of space and surrounding. And we might be lucky enough to meet the critters that live with Deb. The cat Gil and the two dogs, Kelly and Joey. And there they are. Deborah, how has your creativity changed during the current pandemic?
Actually, my process hasn't changed a lot. I think because I use Photoshop, so 90% of the time I'm on Photoshop creating my composite images. And because of that, I'm in the studio a lot. I'm not outside a lot. I'm inside, and I use a lot of my digitally cut images. I take photos of flowers and digitally cut them and layer them in my photographs. For example, this one was in the Whyte Museum show, Transitory Beauty, in 2018. And what I do is I take the images, all mostly floral in nature, as you can see, and digitally cut them and then place them at various places and then manipulate the color, the light, the transparency, the composition, until I get something that I think looks good to my eye. So in this particular piece, I used a lot of filters. I used a lot of filters like liquefy and things like that to finally create this image, which is then probably composed of about 40 layers. And so then when I'm happy with it, then I flatten it and then go on to the next one. I'm often working on more than one image at a time. And just to say that I've been really influenced by Dutch masters, like the 7th century Dutch painters. Impressionism, Monet has been a big influence, the Water Lily series, and also Cy Twombly has been a big influence, along with some other contemporary artists as well.
Excellent, thank you. So what are you learning and thinking about these days?
I think like everybody else, I'm really sad about what's happening, and I'm hoping that people will stop and think about what's going on and kind of slow down and take time to reflect on how we can change things. I'm mostly thinking about the environment and how it's only had a short time to heal, and that when we come back, can we be a little more respectful, a little more observant, and hopefully people will take that lesson and educate themselves about the environment, especially living here in Banff. It's very, very fragile. It's a small town, and there's lots of people that come in the summers. So we really have to think about that. And also, personally, it's affected me in a way because now I go out in the mornings with my dogs, and I take them for a walk, and we have started going bird watching. So, and I've stayed for a long, long time listening to and watching the birds and the activity and realizing how amazing it is. And it's so quiet out there. I don't know how things are going to change this summer. I don't think it's going to be as busy as last summer, but it's been a real pleasure to do that, and I've enjoyed every second of it.
Excellent, excellent. I've noticed too how easy it is to hear the wildlife, without having to filter that through traffic.
Yeah, traffic. People coming home from the bar at night, that's disappeared. Yeah, which has been a pleasure because I actually heard an owl one night, and I'm downtown Banff, so that's pretty unusual.
Very cool. Deborah, what do you hope the outcome of these unprecedented times will be?
I think, as I mentioned earlier, that people will just have more respect for nature. I don't know, just think about things more in a holistic way. Yeah, embrace it. Nature is forgiving, but it's only so tolerant. So I think we just have to keep that in mind. And with the kind of work I do, I'm just really aware of how special it is to be able to work with subjects like this, not from the natural world. Flora, I love working with florals, and I've been doing that for a long time. So, I'm just hoping that people will be more observant and be more kind.
Great. Is there anything else you would like to share with us?
It's funny. This is all sort of in a similar vein, and I've been thinking about it a lot lately. And with my new imagery for the show at the Whyte coming out, opening July 1st, I'm doing very similar work. But this time I've added another element to it with the birds because that's part of the theme. So with that, I'm creating an environment that is really manufactured. Like all of those images that I have for the pieces that I'll have in the Whyte nothing exists like that in nature. It's all put together. It's all just manufactured. And I think by doing that, and there's disorder in order, and if people see things that are out of context, then they'll look at it a lot more closely. Maybe they'll look at the detail and think about why is that like that, or why, and see little things in my images I've got. If you look closely, you'll see insects and things like that. So I think just people being brought into it, and then just opening more elements, and then I've added a contemporary layer to it as well. If you want to, I don't know if we can look at one of the images, then you'll get an idea. So this is one of the images that's in the show, and as you can see, it's all layered digitally cut flowers and leaves. But I've incorporated bird. I've also incorporated some grasshoppers in there, and just composed it in a way that's really quite bold and vibrant. And then I wanted to make it a little more contemporary. And I don't really know why I did this, but I added the dots. And I really think it balances out the composition and just gives it another layer of dimension that, I don't know, people will probably be wondering about it and why that's there. And I just really like the way it's composed. So I'm pretty happy with that image. And there'll be one other image in the show, which I'm still working on, but it's almost done.
So Deb, tell me a bit about the circular images on the wall here.
These are 10-inch round on birch ply. And I created these for a show at Merritt Gallery, which is in Nanaimo, run by Joe Bambridge. And that was in 2019. And they are all digitally cut, similar to my other Photoshop work. But what I've done is I put a layer of resin over top, just to give it another dimension, to give it a quality. It's kind of mirror-like and glossy. Anyways, it really was just an experiment, and I really like doing it, but quite honestly, I don't think I'll work with resin again. It's very, very tricky, especially when you're trying to dry it and you have pets who are very hairy. It's really hard. But anyway, that was in the Merritt show, along with some other pieces. So that was the last show I was in.
Excellent, Deb. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.